Easier.
Welcome everyone to our third session of a Gita coaching presentation on Krishna.com. Thank you for being online now, if you're online, whoever is there. Today's session is about goal setting, goals and goal setting. And goal setting is a very, very exciting topic. I have been teaching about goals for several years now in about 12 countries, mainly in Europe, and it's part of the Gita coaching course. So whoever gets coach training, they learn about goals and goal setting, and that's one of the basic skills to set goals and to work on achieving goals. So goal setting gives many benefits, but there are reasons why people don't set goals. One of the reasons is that they're afraid that they are not going to achieve them, so they don't set goals. Then they maybe don't know how to set goals, or maybe they try to set goals but they were not able to work on them, or they forgot about them, or they were not able to achieve them, so they kind of gave up on setting goals and they're just living their life as it goes. But setting goals is very, very helpful if you do it properly, because it helps you focus and it helps you be more disciplined. And Srila Prabhupada, when he came to America, he actually had his goals. He wanted to preach Krishna consciousness, he was clear about that. And when a trained conductor asked him about his vision, he said that only time is separating us from many temples and many devotees. So he had a clear goal to make devotees, to preach Krishna consciousness, and also to translate books and to make books and to distribute books. His goal was to follow the instruction of his spiritual master, or instructions. So if you look into the lives of all successful people, whether they are devotees or they are not devotees, these people have goals, have clear goals. They know what they want. Therefore, clarity is essential for success. If you want to be successful, you have to be clear about what you want. If you don't know what you want, even God cannot help you, because what will you ask Him for? You don't know what you want, so you will not be able to ask Him, I want this, please help me. You will not be able to pray, please help me attain this, and like that. So in Krishna consciousness, we try to set Krishna conscious goals. And Srila Prabhupada mentions goals in Bhagavad Gita in many places. He mentions how disturbance in life is due to a want of an ultimate goal. So we have to be very clear about what are our goals. Then Srila Prabhupada also says that our goal is Krishna, and we are teaching Bhagavad Gita as it is. So our ultimate goal is pure love of Krishna, but then there is sub-goals that we want to achieve before we attain that highest goal. And acharyas have also given us different stages and steps, and they also can be considered like sub-goals. Like Srila Rupa Goswami explains different stages. Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Nishta, Ruchi, etc. Anartha Nivriti especially very important. These are stages, so we also see them as goals. Like we first develop some faith in the association of devotees, then we want to take initiation, and then we want to consciously work on purifying ourselves and getting rid of different unwanted things that are in the heart. So we have, in Krishna consciousness, we have goals. We want to spread Krishna consciousness. We have preaching goals. You can have your sadhana goals. So many devotees I'm coaching, they want to have sadhana goals. They want to get up early, chant their rounds in the morning, or come to the temple. Just like here in Alachua, many devotees are coming to Mangala Arati. Like sometimes is about 50 devotees, sometimes more. So it's very nice to see. So these devotees have made up their mind that I'm going to come to the temple every morning and either do Pujari service or attend the kirtan and also attend the class, and they have so much benefit from doing that. Then you can have health goals. How do you want to deal with your health? Do you want to exercise? Do you want to dance in the kirtan? Do you want to have a good diet and avoid things that are not good for your system? So what kind of responsibility you are going to take for your health? So these are health goals. You can have relationships goals. What kind of relationships do you want to have with devotees? Do you want to have loving relationships, or you want to keep distance, or you want to avoid certain devotees, or you want to more closely and more deeply associate with certain devotees? So clarity about all these goals is very, very essential and very, very helpful. Then of course you can have service goals. What kind of service do you want to do? What kind of contribution do you want to make? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? So one has to be clear, what is his calling? What is his dharma? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to put your heart into? If you like to do something for Krishna, this is the area where you can actually try to set goals, because these goals will be very exciting for you. So it's very, very helpful to actually have goals. Goals setting will help you clarify your priorities. What are your priorities? What are the most important things? What matters most to you? Especially if you write down things, it will become clear what do you want. And whether you really want, when you see it written down on paper, then you can really assess, do I really want this? Is this something that I really want to do? So write it down. And actually writing down goals is one of the most important instructions that any success teacher will give you. Why? Because when you write down a goal, something magical happens. Something is triggered in your consciousness or in your subconscious, and then when you write down your goals, throughout the day you're looking for different opportunities how to achieve your goal, and it becomes more imprinted in your consciousness, more part of your thinking, and somehow the likelihood of achieving goal is greater when you write it down. There was a case study in the Yale University many years ago. First they interviewed the graduates of 1 year, and then after 20 years they tried to find all these people, whoever survived, and they found that 3% of the graduates were more successful, had better relationships, more money, better health than the 97% of the students. And these people are of the same level of intelligence, same background, not big difference between them. But one thing is that these people who were more successful, they actually had written goals when they graduated. They were clear about what they want. So it's amazing. If this is really true, I can't prove it 100%. I've heard this story many times. But if this is really true, then it's worth it trying to write down your goals. And writing down really help clarifying the details of your goals. Therefore, we have a SMART model for goal setting. And SMART model means specific, measurable, attractive, realistic, and time-bound. So the more specific the goal is, the easier it will be for you to focus on the goal. You can't hit the target you cannot see. So make it specific. What is your goal? Devotees say sometimes, I want to be happy in Krishna consciousness. But this is very broad. How do you want to be happy specifically? What do you want to do? How do you want to contribute? How do you want to feel in Krishna consciousness? Make it more specific. Then how would you measure it? Measurable. How do you measure this? So when will you know that you are happy? How specifically will you know? Maybe if you chant 64 rounds, or if you attend 2 kirtans a day, or if you really feel like goosebumps, or how will you know that you are happy? What will make you convinced that something that you can measure? Then attractive. If the goal is not attractive, you'll probably not work very hard to achieve it. So it's very important that the goal is attractive for you. So if some goal is not attractive, like you have to maybe finish some, I don't know, technical training for the computer, it may be very boring. But if you have this reward in your mind, that what is behind it, like today with one devotee, we have filling up the application form for a visa. So it's actually a very boring activity and very tedious. And then I said, well, imagine what will happen when you get a visa. You will have association of certain devotees, you will be with devotees who like you, then you will be able to make some spiritual advancement, get to serve the deities when you get into that country. And I just said, just relax and understand this actually boring activity is very, very beneficial. It brings you to a wonderful goal, and that's the visit to the temple and that country. So similarly, when we see what is behind certain things that are kind of sub-goals, then everything becomes favorable, everything becomes attractive and interesting. But we can set goals that are very clearly interesting, like if we focus on something that we would like to do. So I always ask devotees, what do you like to do in Krishna consciousness? Then they say, well, I would like to do so many things, but it's impossible. Well, Prabhupada said that impossible is the word in a fool's dictionary. So you can't say it's impossible. Srila Prabhupada says in several places, everything is possible by Krishna's mercy, then everything is possible by the mercy of a Vaishnava, everything is possible if you do sacrifice, and similar things. So if we believe in the power of God, and if we understand that if we connect with Him, then anything is possible for us, we can become instruments in His hands, then we can try anything and achieve anything. So therefore, nothing is impossible. So you can set any goal. Prabhupada said, shoot for the rhinoceros. Think big. We learned that. So why we are afraid to dream big dreams? Mainly because there's a fear of failure or fear of success. Some people are very much afraid of success, because once you become successful, there is more responsibility, there is maybe a temptation of fame or test that I'll become very famous, I'll become puffed up. There are different fears that people have. But if you don't try anything, then you have already failed 100%. So it's really foolish to not try anything because you're afraid that you will fail. But if you don't try it, you have already failed. Even if you try, you might succeed. But if you don't try, then you have already signed, like a defeat. So it's important to try things. It's better to try something than to don't do anything and just sit and lament. In the Bhagavad Gita it is described that Shudra laments. So if you want to be someone like that, then you can just sit and lament about what cannot be done. It's better to do something imperfectly than nothing perfectly. We always think, well, if I can't do it perfectly, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I'm such a big devotee, and then my reputation will go down. But if you don't do anything, your reputation will not exist at all, because you will not be achieving anything. So it's very important to try something. Start anywhere, go everywhere. You can start anywhere with anything. Start with small things, small goals. Today I posted on the Facebook about the Trim Tab. Trim Tab is a small rudder on a boat. And by moving this small rudder, you can actually completely change the direction of the boat. Like 90 degrees, 180 degrees, whatever you want. Slowly, slowly. So I'm teaching devotees to be a Trim Tab in their communities or their families. So try to be a small scale change agent. Start with little things. Start with small goals, okay? Build relationships with people, build trust, and then your positive influence will actually increase. There is so many excuses why not to do things. Like, for example, oh no, the power is and money is in the hands of the leaders. Well, this is a first-class excuse. Even if you don't have money, don't have power, you can actually start to increase your circle of influence, positive influence, or Krishna conscious influence. Srila Prabhupada didn't have anything when he came to America, and gradually he built up everything with his patience, persistence, faith in Krishna and his spiritual master. So we can follow in his footsteps. Srila Prabhupada is an amazing example of persistence, which is considered to be one of the top success principles in this world of teachings about success. And even some of the world experts in success and leadership have analyzed Srila Prabhupada. They have read, actually, Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita. They have studied his life, and they have concluded that this man actually has been following the top recognized principles of success. So even from the professional point of view, even from the mundane point of view of success, Srila Prabhupada was recognized how he was following. Just take, for example, marketing. If you listen to Prabhupada's lectures, every little success that ISKCON had, Srila Prabhupada would promote it, and in this way get more supporters. He would say that we are distributing so many plates of free food, we are distributing so many books, and people would come forward because everyone wants to be with successful people. If you say we are distributing 5 plates of food every single day, who would be inspired with that? Or we are distributing 2 books a day, all over the world. But if people see, oh, these people are making a huge difference, they're distributing this wonderful knowledge, let us help them expand it. So Srila Prabhupada was doing marketing so much, and he was always very grateful. So, but he was very clear about his goals, what he wanted to do, and therefore he was able to actually involve other people in helping him achieve his goals, which are actually goals of his spiritual master. And so, going back to Krishna. So there is a saying, if you don't have your own goals, you will be working on other people's goals. So of course your goal may be to help your spiritual master achieve his goals, that's okay. But if you don't have your own goals, then you will work with some boss whose goal is to make money, and you will not be happy. So what do you want to do in life? Probably you want to make a significant contribution. You want to leave a legacy, or leave something behind you before you leave your body, and make a difference in the community of devotees or in the world, preaching, helping devotees succeed, or helping people join Krishna consciousness. And goals can be set in these areas. Maybe you want to do wonderful deity worship when you're really excited on feeding people with prasadam. Or maybe you want to help people find meaning and purpose in their lives by teaching them, or by doing life coaching for people, and help them come closer to Krishna. So there is so many things that you can do, but you have to become clear what is it that you want. What is your dharma? What is your calling? What is your voice in ISKCON or outside of ISKCON? So unless you try, you don't know what you can do or what you cannot do. So my recommendation is, try something try anything and see how it works. I'm sure something will work. Something will work. And if possible, try to do things that you like to do, where you can put your heart into, because then you'll be able to fire up people, because people can feel when somebody is enthusiastic about something. So if you're enthusiastic about something, it will be contagious. It will actually attract people. It will be like a virus, and they will say, well, this is very interesting, let me try to help this man or see what he is doing. When you set goals, one important point is positive language. Why? Because when you phrase your goals to be positive, then actually you create a situation where you can focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. Experts say that this is very important. This is also how it gets imprinted in consciousness or in subconscious, and it also helps you focus on your goals. So positive language, very important. So like you can say, I chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every single day, first thing in the morning, without interruption. This is a wonderful affirmation. They call it affirmations in the professional world. Positive statements. So in our scriptures there is many positive statements that can be used as spiritual affirmations. Like there is one verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita which says, I am the servant of Lord Chaitanya, I am the servant of Lord Chaitanya, I am the servant of Lord Chaitanya and the servant of his servants. So if you repeat this as an affirmation, your Krishna consciousness will go up. Simple verse, which is a very positive present tense statement. So if you repeat these things, of course, one of the also top world success teachers said an amazing thing. I discovered it in one of his tapes. He said that the highest form of affirmation is a prayer. I was really surprised to hear this from him, because he rarely mentions spirituality or religion. But he said the highest form of affirmation is a prayer. So if you don't like affirmations, you can create prayers. Mighty Lord, please help me chant my 16 rounds every single day first thing in the morning, and see what happens. If you are able to have darshan with the deities every day, then ask the deities, please, can you give me an ability to chant my 16 rounds first time in the morning every single day without interruption, and see what happens. Because deities, they wait for us to pray to them. Here in Alachua, wonderful deities, Sri Sri Radha Shyama Sundar, Sri Sri Gaur Nitai, Nishingadev, Lord Nishingadev. There is also picture of Krishna Balaram. We are praying that Krishna Balaram manifest here so that they can be worshipped here. And there is a murti of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta on the huge altar. So you can pray to all of them, to some of them, you can choose, and they wait for us to pray for them, for help, and to give us, to empower us to do our service, to be successful in our sadhana and to preach Krishna consciousness. So they're available. Krishna has sent so many representatives, but we are not taking full advantage. This is our misfortune. So we have to take more advantage of what Krishna has given us. And then our goals, Krishna conscious goals, professional goals, family goals, will be more achievable. We will be able to achieve them and feel also that we are doing something. So my recommendation is to write down your goals and then make a plan how to achieve them, and do something every single day to actually move you closer to achieving your goals. You will feel a sense of momentum, you will feel a sense of progress, and you will feel good actually that you are doing something. And pray to Krishna for strength, for intelligence, but also when you are working on your goals, always try to learn as much as you can how to achieve goals, how to work better in your goals, how to find resources, how to find help. anything that we want to achieve, we always can learn how to do it in a better and better fashion. So very important to have this learning mentality. So basically in coaching, what we are trying to do is help you to go from where you are to where you want to be, to set your goals and to achieve your goals. This is the process, the very simple process that actually coaching helps with. Once you're clear of what you want to do, we can actually make a plan, define what will be the path of achieving these goals. We can look into different obstacles that may come there, and also decide how to work on overcoming them, and then try to achieve a result. So we say that the success means Krishna's mercy, personal effort plus Krishna's mercy equals success. I have posted it also on Facebook the other day, and one devotee commented that actually in Mahabharata, Arjuna has said the same thing. He mentioned personal effort, Krishna's mercy, and there was something else, I think something decisiveness or something like that. I don't remember exactly the third one, but it's a very, very similar point, that this combination of personal effort and Krishna's mercy will ensure our success. This is the difference between Krishna consciousness and the outside success teachings, because they basically tell us that we are the doer, but we know that we are not the only doer. We have to make an effort, and then there is the element of Krishna's mercy. We know that Krishna is Upadrashta, Anumanta Cha, he is the overseer and permitter. So we always depend on him. And we make sincere effort, and then the results depend on him. So our goals will be achieved with the help of Krishna, but we have to be clear what we want, make a proper effort, pray to him for mercy. And of course, ideally speaking, all of our goals are very Krishna conscious and very pleasing to Krishna. So these are some of the things that goal setting brings as benefits. And now if you have any questions, we have about 15 minutes. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer if you can focus specifically on goals and goal setting. But if you have any questions also from our previous sessions, we spoke about 10 qualities of a life coach, and I gave an introduction to coaching and explained about the benefits and how it works. Then you can also ask. Okay, Shelter 108, she's saying, my main goal now is to find a spiritual master and get initiated, but I'm far from any devotees or temples. So if you tell me where you live, I can try to contact devotees who may contact you and help you get in touch with a bona fide spiritual master, or at least start the process of qualifying to get initiated, and be in touch with some of the local authorities who will then recommend you or who will help you find a spiritual master. So if you tell me where you are, Omaha, Nebraska. Okay. Okay, so I'll write this down. Are you Daniel? I remember you. Omaha, Nebraska. Yes, you're Daniel. Okay. Omaha. So I'll ask around and see who is nearest. Tell me some other states. They're near Omaha. Omaha is a state, isn't it?
Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska, sorry. Nebraska is a state. Bhakti Carol. Question. Could you describe relationship between Srila Prabhupada's persistence and Krishna ultimately being in control? Okay, Shelter 108 is saying Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado. These are the states around Nebraska. Okay, so that's very helpful. Let me see. I just have to write this down. Okay, please be patient. Those who have asked me questions, I just want to write this down so that I can help him connect. So, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado. Okay. So, Srila Prabhupada's persistence, the question was relationship between Srila Prabhupada's persistence and Krishna ultimately being in control. Well, Srila Prabhupada was very, very persistent. He had few heart attacks when he was on the Jaladuta steamship, and he still made it, and he started there, and he just tried. If you see it, if you look at his prayers, Markin Bhagavad Dharma, I can also send you these prayers, then he was praying in one sense very desperately and helplessly. He didn't know what will come out of the whole thing because people were so ignorant. And gradually, Krishna helped Srila Prabhupada, and people started coming to him. So basically, persistence of a devotee and Krishna's approval of the results will bring success. We can make an effort, but there may be no result in the beginning. I had this experience so many times. Like, try to preach to someone, they say, well, I'm not interested, this and that. Then they come to you after a few months, they say, what is it that you were saying? Can we speak about it again? So, I think every investment in Krishna consciousness pays off somehow. And you never know where the result will come from. Bhaktin Carol is asking, when setting our goals, should we be interested in outcome or attached to outcome? Should we be result-oriented? This is an excellent question because professionals teach you that to be result-oriented, and Bhagavad Gita says, don't be attached to results. so it's like, pew, to blow your mind, how to combine the two. I think we should desire a result for Krishna, and in that way, everything is taken care of. We want the result, but not for our own sense gratification. We want to please Krishna. And whether the result is coming or not, we don't know because we are not the ultimate controller of results. So we should be interested in outcome because we want the outcome that will please Krishna. So definitely we should. But we shouldn't be attached to results. Is that okay, Bhaktin Carol? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Bhakta Patrick, I will be leaving for marching band camp in the last week of next month, and the whole week is very hard physically, and I worry I might not have enough energy to wake early and chant my rounds in the morning. Do you have any ideas that might help me stay attentive and chant my rounds? To stay attentive when chanting your rounds, it's very important that you are rested. So you have to see when to have enough rest, how to have enough rest, and then, very important, when you chant your rounds, then don't be interrupted. Go to a secluded place, go somewhere where no one will interrupt you. Don't entertain yourself watching the laptop, looking at the laptop, or surfing the internet or whatever, but just go to a place where you can focus on chanting and do the best that you can, even if it's in 2 slots, like maybe morning 8, evening 8 or something, whatever kind of a break you have to have in between, but approach it very responsibly and plan it. Make it a daily goal. Make it as a daily goal that I'm going to chant my rounds during this travel very, very seriously. and then do your best to do it attentively. Bhakta Patrick, is that okay? Or any other sub-questions? By the way, thank you for your questions. They're very nice. And if you would like to ask me more questions, okay, Bhakta Patrick says yes. Thank you very much. I will give you my email here. And then also I can send you my links. You can also find them on my page. I don't have a link at the moment, but it's Gita Coaching, Helping Devotees Succeed, where these broadcasts will be stored. And there you have all my details, my Facebook, Skype, email, blog, website, so you can contact me through these.
You can tell them that they can go to krishna.com/TV, and then they'll see Gita Coaching on the bottom.
Okay, so if you go to krishna.com/TV, then you can see Gita Coaching at the bottom. Shelter 108 says, I'm about halfway through Bhagavad Gita as it is. What book should I read next? I owe Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, Srimad Bhagavatam First Canto also. Well, you have exactly the perfect library to read first. Srila Prabhupada has recommended as most important books Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Nectar of Devotion. Now he also recommended that the smaller library that you can read is Bhagavad Gita, First Canto, Nectar of Devotion, and Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which is a summary of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you have a perfect library, and I would recommend that you read the next First Canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then you can choose whether you want to read next Nectar of Devotion or Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Krishna book also, exactly. Yeah, that's a perfect library, these 5 books. But I would, when you finish the Gita, I would definitely recommend you dive into the First Canto, because First Canto is so powerful, and Prabhupada actually wrote it very comprehensively, because he didn't know how long he's going to live. So he put so much in the First Canto. It's like a, like a spiritual time bomb or atomic bomb. It's such a powerful book. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have a perfect library. Yes. Okay. So we have 7 more minutes for our broadcast, and if anyone has any more questions, and yes, please feel free to contact me. I love to receive emails. I also post a lot of things on the Facebook. My Facebook is Akrura Dasa, and you can find audios, pictures, daily quotes. You can find some videos. I don't have many videos, but at least I put some links there. So I'm trying to provide so many things to help devotees succeed. And I also give courses, so if you know anyone interested in Gita coaching courses and or similar content like this, then I can also come to a place. I will be in America until 28th of July, so it's another month, and I can also come and give a course. I also give courses on leadership. I give courses about a spiritual guidance system, if you want to establish a spiritual guidance system in your temple. And also I can give some other types of courses connected to these topics. Okay, so thank you so much for requesting me as a friend. I will respond to that if I haven't yet. Whole Bhagavatam, you were not able to afford. I'm getting a question about being married to a devotee and how to achieve this goal. I think this is a wonderful goal. I assume you're a lady, Gaia, and I think it's a wonderful goal to be married to a devotee in Krishna consciousness. How can you achieve this goal? Well, I think you have to associate with devotees. You have to associate with devotees. But if you want more details, I think it's better you write me. I just left my email there, akrura@pamho.net, a little bit above, and then we can discuss it more privately if you like. Is that okay, Gaia? Yes. Okay, so please write me, and then we can discuss it more privately and see what can be done. But I'm willing and ready to assist you in the best way I can. Okay. Okay, so we have 4 minutes, and if there is any other questions, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I'm really happy that devotees are watching and listening to these presentations, because I believe that they can help a lot. We can learn some different practical tools, and in the scriptures there is so many wonderful tools that we can use, and I'm researching and having other devotees to do this so that we can offer to you so many scriptural instructions and tools that you can very practically apply in your daily lives. Shelter 108, thank you for your comment. Very positive. Thank you. So I want to finish. If there is any other questions, I will answer. But in the meantime, I want to give you a question to think about. What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? I repeat. What one great thing would you dare to dream or do if you knew you could not fail? If you get an answer to this question as clear as you can, this can be the beginning of your success. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.